Gary Payton II has been looking for a job before the 2021-2022 season, and was at the point where he would have signed any team willing to offer him a contract, until the Warriors decided to bring him back. With his extremely notable defensive game and his insane rim finishing power, the Warriors aren't the only team looking to offer him an extension this postseason. Here's why GP2 is wanted by NBA teams. Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks haven't been shy about wanting to upgrade their roster this offseason. They traded 4 players outside their playoff rotation and even their first round pick, even before the Warriors wrapped up the championship. Last summer, the Mavs signed Reggie Bullock and Sterling Brown while bringing back Tim Hardaway Jr. and Boban Marjanovic in the opening hours of free agency. Before fans went to bed on June 30th past summer, the Mavs have done it all but figured out their roster. At the current moment though, Dallas is searching for a wing, and even though GP2 is a lot more interested in signing the contract with the Warriors or potentially another team close to his heart, Mavs still have an evil plan to steal him, because of 3 main reasons. Versatility. GP2 is not a point guard, nor a volume shooter. While it might be true that he made 35.8 of his 120 3-point attempts in the postseason for the Warriors, he is a career 32% shooter. His offensive game likely isn't going to wow fans, but he's a smart player that brings versatility to the court. He's the dude that gets out in transition and gets his team a few easy buckets. He leaks out after misses, and sprints the floor with maximum speed after every single turnover, which is a rare to see nowadays. The said type of game resulted into him throwing down 55 dunks in the regular season, which would be the second most on the Mavs roster. He is also a brilliant cutter that would be able to get Dallas some easy buckets almost at will. If you look at him playing, there are often times he just somehow finds his way to the rim unguarded, which would be huge for the Mavericks. And besides that, he is also comfortable being a spot-up shooter on the offensive end of the floor. Not that the Mavs crave that, but it's always welcome. Shined in playoffs. In Game 2 of the Warriors' second round series against the Memphis Grizzlies, an unfortunate situation happened that resulted into GP2 fracturing his elbow. But that still didn't stop him from making a significant postseason impact. After his elbow got better, he kept coming off the bench and getting right to the action. In Game 3 of the first round series against the Nuggets, GP2 even went 3 for 3 from behind the arc, which gave the Warriors a pretty neat boost towards the W in that game. He also had 15 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block in the clinching Game 5. He was great in Game 1 against the Grizzlies as well, with 8 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block in a bit over 23 minutes. While Gary didn't return until Game 2 of the NBA Finals after fracturing his elbow, it was like he never left. First game back, he helped Warriors outscore Boston by 15 with his significant performance. The Dallas Mavericks were forced to play Reggie Bullock and Dorian Finney-Smith big minutes each game this season, as they used them to defend the opposing team's best scorers on a nightly basis, which can be exhausting if you're not religiously a defensive player. By adding GP2 to the Mavs roster, it's like getting a guaranteed and proven postseason performer that has the ability to guard the top ball handlers and give them absolute hell full court. Defense. Let's face it, the Mavericks clearly put defense first this past season. Their massive commitment on the defensive end of the floor last season helped them go from 21st to 7th in defensive rating, which is a 3-time improvement. Their head coach Jason Kidd decided to introduce a new, different scheme, and the players bought right in. Many would argue that it was thanks to their great defense that they made it into the Western Conference Finals. The hypothesis was confirmed in 3 games against the Suns, as they held them to their 3 lowest scoring games of the season in the second round. GP2 is said to be one of the best perimeter stoppers in the league. The fact that he's so good just asks to put him up against the opposing team's lead ball handler, or point guard, if you will. The player who he guarded the most this past season was actually Ja Morant, and we all know how he plays the game. He shot 4 out of 18 from the field in 20.4 matchup minutes when combined in the postseason. Therefore, Gary Payton II is quite literally an instant upgrade to any defense, and he would give the head coach of Mavericks, Jason Kidd, quite the flexibility. Dorian Finney-Smith and Reggie Bullock can wear down the opposing team before GP2 steps into the game to disrupt the ball handlers. If we count up the numbers, it would give the Dallas Mavericks one of the best defenses in the league, and their perimeter strength would cover their current lack of rim protection, which would possibly make them the top 5 defensive teams in the NBA. Leaving the Bay. While everything sounds great for the Mavericks, the whole idea of leaving the Bay doesn't seem so great to Gary Payton II himself. The Warriors are the team who gave him a second chance after waiving him like all the other teams before, and he's truly thankful for that.
Yeah, well, thanks for that, guys.
Both sides would probably offer him about the same sized contract, but what Dallas would probably offer that the Warriors don't is a little more time on the wing. The question now is though, would that be enough for the Mavericks to persuade GP2 into waiving the Warriors and joining the Luka Doncic-led mega team? Would he ditch the NBA champions and go to a team who made the playoffs after quite a few seasons of trying? If we're being honest, probably not. GP2 has already gone through enough, and he's swapped more teams than a casual NBA player can count to. He's said in many interviews that he's looking forward to the contract that the Bay is hopefully going to offer him, and if he managed to sign it, there's no looking at other teams. Otherwise, he's just a cheater. But as he already said many times, he doesn't want to be anywhere else anyways, so he'll just continue being great where he is right now, improve from game to game, enlarge the amount of minutes that he gets, and potentially help the Warriors win even more championships that they already have. And in case the Warriors decide not to offer him an extension, the Mavericks or any other team might just hop right in, and he might just take the bait.